Hi there. This is Jean Roman with For Dragonflies and Me. Thanks so much for joining me at this week's podcast. As always, I'm super excited to be here sharing gardening, cooking, organizational tips and tricks, and of course, having conversations with incredible entrepreneurs. You should all know by now, I always start my podcast out with a story of how I met my guest, and today is no different. Well, I met this incredible young lady at a leadership conference late last fall. And to say the least, I was so impressed with her confidence, her demeanor, but especially what she has accomplished at a very young age. But not only that, I was inspired by her passion for our planet and its well being. Well, now I know I have you all really super excited. So let me introduce today's guest, Tamara Lincoln, founder and CEO of Lincoln Stone Paper. Welcome, Tamara.
Hello, thank you so much for having me. Again, my name is Tamara Lincoln. I am the founder, CEO of Lincoln Stone Paper, and it's an honor to be here. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so happy to have you here, Tamara. I'm so excited to chat with you about how you developed and created Lincoln Stone Paper. And I know my guests are already super intrigued. But first, I do want to say I feel extremely privileged to have you here today. I know how busy you are with your job as well as your three little ones. So thank you again. But now, Tamara, let's get rolling. First, I would love for you to tell my listeners a bit about yourself and how you started your business.
Yes, of course. So first things first, Christian, wife, mother. I always put those three. It's
Aw.
very important for me. I'm also a serial entrepreneur and a serial worker. So um,
I like
I
that better than workaholic. It sounds much better.
So I actually started this business last year in June. I started as a publishing company because I wanted to help other people publish their own books so they wouldn't have to share a big profit of their earnings. I wanted them to learn how to do it so they can do it for themselves. In the process of that, I was creating Montessori books, and while I was creating, I have paper everywhere, and and when you're in thinking and process mode, everything is everywhere. So my children they were getting into everything. So they were
Like
getting
they
into my
do.
notebooks and they were ripping it up. And of course they're excited. They're like, oh my gosh, rip it, tear it. So in January, I actually stumbled across an indestructible material known as stone, like stone paper. So that's how I ended up creating my stone paper notebooks and my stone paper Montessori books as well.
Well, that's awesome. So I'm going to want a little bit more information on these Montessori books, and and where we can get them and where they're available. So we'll get into that in shortly. But I know my listeners as well as myself are super impressed and super interested. And to all my dragonfly friends out there, when I met Tamara at the leadership conference, she was very generous in providing one notebook to each of the guests at this conference. And when I felt the paper, it is just like silk. It's so smooth. And I know Tamara is going to talk a little bit about that coming up. But with all that being said, Tamara, please share with my audience what drove you to create this incredible product. I know you talked about your kids and needing to have an indestructible product, but can you go into a little bit more depth with that?
Yes, of course. So as a mother, as a wife, I tend to multitask a lot, and a lot of times I can myself have a lot of accidents. Sometimes I'm drinking some tea and I spill. Sometimes I'm eating food and I spill, and oftentimes my children come around me with any type of thing and they spill. So I was like, okay.
Yep.
I'm like, okay, something we have to work something out. So in the process of it, I started to do a lot of heavy research, and of course I came across the stone paper. What actually drives it is my children, because I have to pass something down to them. So I can't really pass. I mean,
Oh.
of course, I can pass down my knowledge and I can pass down like, hey, this is what you can possibly do in life. But being able to pass down something that is indestructible, that's perpetual, is an honor to do that for my children. So they most definitely drive me.
Oh, that is incredible. And yeah, and Tamara, the whole concept of sustainability and utilizing actual stone for your product just goes to show where there's a will, there's a way. And as moms, we know that we have to live by that. um,
Absolutely.
yes, exactly. So you do have an incredible product that I think will appeal to just about everybody, whether you're a parent or not, of course, because most people have some kind of drink. And if they're working at a desk, we all have spills, like you mentioned. So
Exactly.
exactly. Share with my listeners what types of products Lincoln Stone Paper offers currently, and if you have anything that may be in the future market, and how they can obtain those goods.
Yes, of course. So before I even mention that, fun fact, the same stone, we use limestone. That is the same stone that was used to build the Egyptian pyramids.
That's
So
awesome. That's
it's
really
very
incredible.
sturdy. Just imagine that, you know. So right now we're pushing heavy our journals because I'm heavy on mental health and being able to get your thoughts and emotions and feelings out on paper so you don't have to hold it in. So you can actually get that on my website, lincolnstonepaper.com, or you can go on Etsy and just type up Lincoln Stone Paper. And I also have a 20% off, I believe, that's going on right now until January 2nd. Um, we do have a line of products coming out, especially with our Montessori. We just connected with a few local groups that's
That's
willing
awesome.
to make that purchase. So as far as the Montessori books, it'll most definitely be out probably in the mid 2023. However, we do have a product line. So we have our line paper, our journals, our bullet journals. We also have our calendars coming out really soon.
Oh,
And
that's
also,
interesting to
yes,
me.
yes, and our focus journals as well. So it actually help you with your productivity rate, budgeting. It's a lot of cool things that's in there that we're working on right now. So it's really great. And also we have our notepads and our sketchbooks as well as our waterproof pens. So
Oh,
everything is
wow.
coming out really well.
Well, that's awesome. And I'm going to be sure, don't worry, listeners. I'm going to have all this information on my blog as well as Facebook posts. So don't worry about that. You will be able to find it either at my blog or Tamara's website. But Tamara, can you go into just a little bit more detail about your Montessori books, like maybe a few titles or, what people can expect to find with that?
Yes, of course. So the title for each book start off with "I love my." Um,
Aw.
love is a very passionate, protective word for myself because a lot of people do things out of love, and caring and sharing and providing and helping is love. So with the Montessori books, is "I love my." So we have our ABCs, we have our colors, our animals. That's like my favorite because it's a three
Oh my
part to the
goodness.
animals. We have our like our transportation. What else we have? We have our objects, our fruit and vegetables, and especially for the fruit and vegetables, you get your generic, apple, banana. For ours,
Mhm.
we actually went in depths to go with a lot of foreign fruit and a lot of foreign vegetables.
Cool.
That's a two-part book as well. So it's two books. So we have a total of 16 books. I can't think of all of them right
That's
now.
okay. That's a lot.
So, but yes, they should all be coming out in 2023.
That is incredible. So those will be available on your website as well, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, folks, I'm sure you can sign up for email notifications on Tamara's website. So be sure to do that. And I am sure that once all of her materials are available, I will also be promoting that. So between the two of us, all of you should be able to get her products. But Tamara, that is just incredible. And as you know, I have 6 kids, you have 3. And I know some days can just wear a mom down. So tell my listeners, what keeps you motivated? I know you said a little bit about journaling, and I've always been a journaler, so I'm super interested in that. But, personally, what keeps you motivated?
Um, Honestly, I can say God is sometimes like you move and it's just like, as an entrepreneur, business owner, you kind of just have those like, okay, am I doing this right? What am I doing wrong? And God would just literally show so many signs, just like, you're doing good, keep going. Like, he'll talk through other people. It's like, I'm so proud of
Aw.
you. It's just like, okay, I can't stop. I have this new family, and just like, you just want to make them proud, and you want to make yourself proud, and it's just, honestly, it's the best feeling ever.
Aw, that's incredible. That's a great testimony, Tamara. And I know a lot of my listeners are right on the same page with you. And, I literally just had a conversation with another friend of mine that owns a business, and they felt the same calling, but not for a journal, but for a restaurant. They own a butcher shop, and they had just felt this calling to do that, to open this new restaurant. And believe me, they are super busy. And when you can give those testimonies as to how, God or whatever your thing is that can direct you in life, those are incredible moments. And as entrepreneurs, I've already had a couple other podcast tapings with a few of the other ladies that we got to meet during that leadership conference. And each one of us as entrepreneurs has that aha moment, right? And it's where we have a foot on both sides of the fence, and it's where we take that leap of faith in knowing, what, this is the moment, this is the time. And with each one of my podcast guests, like you, especially a young lady, an African American young lady who is able to take that step and enter that journey and be so successful. I mean, I'm so excited for you and what your life is, where your life is leading you and your family. And I mean, what a testimony for your own children to see their mom, work so hard and to be able to produce such an incredible product. It's like you said, that is your legacy to them. And, I just give you so many kudos. And I think, you and your testimony can be such an encouragement to somebody who's listening today that may have that foot on both sides of the fence, right? And just like, oh, should I take that leap of faith? And your testimony could just be the thing that sets that person off. And I've said that to a couple other people too. But each story is oh my gosh, just like heartwarming and encouraging, and that is just incredible. And it kind of leads me into my last question with you. You're an independent mama, and where do you get your grit from?
Honestly, my father,
Oh.
he had died last year in December, and before he died, he was just, telling me, like, he's like, you just got this fire and you just,
Oh.
like, just don't stop. And honestly, when he did die, it was very sad. It's still sad to this day, but he ended up leaving us some money left over, and I used that money to jumpstart the stone paper
Oh.
business. So that's that, you gotta go, because
Yep.
it's like, if I stop, it'll literally be all for nothing.
Yep.
Like, he died for nothing if I just stop.
Oh,
So also,
Tamara.
like, I'm carrying him as well as the legacy. So
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, it's kind of interesting. My grandparents raised me, and my grandmother passed away on December 18th. And I was 18, and I'm now 53, and I will never forget that. So I know, losing a family member, a parent during this time of year can be challenging.
yeah.
But I just cannot say thank you enough for sharing that story as well. Again, my podcast, I really, uh, my goal through these podcasts are to promote small businesses and, talk about the other things I love, gardening and cooking. I don't really talk about any of the entrepreneurial aspect on my blog or on Facebook, other than, supporting small business. But that was one of the reasons I created this podcast, to go along as a sister to my blog. But my primary thing was to incorporate entrepreneurship and healthy living through this podcast. And this is definitely probably one of my favorite podcasts I've done so far, in just getting to talk to you and getting to know you. And I certainly hope that we can continue our friendship and for years. And I am so excited to promote all of your upcoming products. But Dragonfly listeners, it's because of people like Tamara that can share their stories with us here, and their trials and their tribulations and the motivating factors that drove them to their businesses, and the success stories. And that's what we're here for today, for all of you, sharing that with you. And so I guess wrapping it up today, I just want to let everybody know that you can get more information on Tamara's company, Lincoln Stone Papers, at my blog for dragonfliesandme.com, as well as her website, lincolnstonepaper.com. And I guess, again, all those links will be on my blog and at Facebook. But I just want to say thanks to all my Dragonfly listeners for taking the time to listen today. And Tamara, thank you so much for sharing this incredible mission and your story with all of my listeners.
Oh, thank you so much. It was an honor.
Oh, well, it's my honor, believe me. But everybody, please follow me here and at my blog at fordragonfliesandme.com. And if you have not visited me at Facebook, please like and follow me there for daily inspiration, recipes, and gorgeous photos. Until next time, happy day, friends.